Hello and welcome or welcome back to another stream on the Haunted Hippie channel. Tonight, I did just tease that I have a special extra guest coming on, unbeknownst to most of you. But tonight I am joined by Master Chaos himself.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Uh,
hello. Sorry, no much
uh, uh,
warning.
uh, Thank you for having me. It's
Mhm.
an honor and a pleasure to finally be on your channel this time. So this is great.
I know, I think we have done it once for the Heretic interview.
Oh, yes. Okay, then I guess this is second. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was last year, right? That was like way back in
No,
November or something.
January.
Oh, that was more
Wait, or
recent.
was it
Never mind.
December? Fuck, I don't remember.
Oh no,
Whatever. So
it
much
was
has
last
happened.
year. Anyway, the point is we're here now, and yet another collaboration between Master Chaos and Haunted Hippie. Exciting stuff. Tonight we have a good little slate of news to talk about. I know that Jose is going to come in hot with some hot takes. Allegedly, that's what he tells me. But we have
I always do, but
That's true. We've got news on John Carpenter, Linda Cardellini. We can kick off with that because I did clickbait with that. We have news about Hell House. We have news about Michael and Danny Philippa's next movie. The poster for Bring Her Back just dropped. There's been some nonsense reported lately on Happy Death Day 3. I know what you did last summer updates, Saw updates, and then just a couple other interesting projects that have been announced. But first of all, we now a longtime patron Lexius has left some tips, so just shout out, thank you. There's going to be a special on Shudder celebrating 10. It's been 10 years of Shudder already.
wow.
I didn't know that. There's also going to be a Buffy the Vampire revival. I did see that. Were you a Buffy person?
Fuck
MC?
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my god, yeah. Dude, Sarah Michelle Gellar was my girl, unbeknownst to her. I even had a cardboard cutout of her in my room. I was all in. I loved it up until she got to college, and then her and Spike hooked up. It didn't work for me, and then the show kind of went in a different direction, so I didn't really stick with it toward the end.
Mhm.
But a revival, I don't know. I'm not excited about it, honestly.
I didn't. So, okay, I've only seen the first season and maybe the first couple episodes of the second season. So, I never fully got into it. Is Spike there? Like, there's like the trio of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's their
Yeah.
best friend?
No, Spike shows up. He's a vampire. He shows up later, like I don't know,
Oh,
season 3 or something. He's one of the bad guys, and then he
okay.
becomes a good vampire, and then yeah,
Okay.
it's meh.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know enough about Buffy really to speak on a revival, but I did see the news that they have sent out the casting call for 3 different characters, and so we know like 3 of the characters' names, but I I didn't really think that was much of anything to talk about. Um, Lexius also said that there's a revival on Dexter coming soon. Has that not already been a thing? I thought it already.
Yeah, it's currently going on right now, I think.
I thought so. I also think I only watched like the first season of Dexter, and then for some reason never finished it. So anyway,
I would recommend you go up to season 4 of Dexter. The first 4
okay.
seasons, fantastic. Season
Mm.
4, John Lithgow, that is peak television.
Mm.
After that, it's all downhill garbage. But go up to season 4. Even just watch season 4, and I think you'll dig the shit out of it. It's fantastic.
Okay, I love John Lithgow. I missed he has a new movie that I think had a limited release. I got invited to the premiere, but I was traveling, and I think it's going to be a Shudder exclusive. I can't remember what it's called, but
Yeah, the Jenny Penn or something like that. It was about a
yeah,
doll.
it's been reviewed pretty well, so I'm excited for it. I was sad to miss that. So yeah, he's still doing good stuff apparently. And finally, thank you so much, Lexius, for the tips, keeping us going. I already have my tickets for Sinners.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're a Potterhead. Do you know who John Lithgow was playing?
Wait, he got cast in the TV show or something?
Yeah.
He did?
Oh yeah. He's
Isn't he
Dumbledore.
American?
Yeah. Yep. He's Dumbledore, baby. It's happening.
You know, I've gotten all of my news about the new Harry Potter TV show from you against my will, actually. You told me about the Snape thing. I don't think I'll be sad. I don't believe I'll be there for that. So I can't get my head around them casting an American, period. John Lithgow's great, but I'm sorry. I don't know.
I
Are you
agree.
on it?
No way. Absolutely not. No, I
Okay,
think
good.
they
Okay,
should
good.
not touch
Okay.
it.
Well, you said you're coming in with hot takes, so I'm just double checking.
Not that
Um,
one. That's a bad idea.
okay. Um, and speaking of horror news, what's going on with you? Can we tell them anything about what was going on this past weekend or anything?
Sure. Why
Okay,
not? It's not gonna
you
go.
take it away.
Well, have you mentioned Killer Doll at all by any chance?
Oh, of course I have.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's still in post. It's coming out in June. It looks fantastic. Kylie's incredible in it. You guys are gonna love her.
Thanks.
Um,
Yeah, for
uh,
anybody that doesn't know, if anybody's because I don't know if I've talked about it on stream in a while or what, but yeah, Killer Doll was a movie I starred in for Jose last November. That's coming out June or July?
June.
Around that. Oh, June. Okay. Cool. Right on. Sorry,
Yeah.
continue. For anyone
So
that didn't know.
that'll be coming out in limited theatrical and then streaming everywhere. And then yesterday we did a table read for a script I wrote that's going to be produced and directed by Sean Whalen, who you might know as Roach from The People Under the Stairs. He just made a movie called Crust that's really good, really weird, but really well made. Yeah, it's called Mascot. That's all I'm going to say right now. But it's a fun little weird one, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it'll be in production in August.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm doing a Killer Nun movie that I may or may not ask Kylie to join me on. We'll see how she behaves.
Yeah, we'll see. I can be a little bit of a wild card, but also I have to audition well. The producers have to like me again.
That's
So
true. No, here's the thing. I think this round will be easier because I'll say, "Oh, it's Fiona," and I think it's that they're gonna be locking at the same time that we're gonna be auditioning. That I think they'll be like, "Oh yeah, okay." So
right.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
it'll
we
be
know
fun.
her. Love her, even though she kept trying to push for crazier wardrobe. But
They don't remember that shit. Don't worry.
anyway, yeah, we got a lot of people in here. Hello, King of the Dead made it. Paige, Adrian, good to see everybody. Hey Noah. Yeah, we'll get to this one. I'm really excited for your takes on Friday the 13th and everything. I guess I'm so curious. Do you want to start with that? Are you okay starting with that?
Whatever you want. It's your show.
Okay, because I mean, there's like the John Carpenter news, but it's not real news. This is real news. Linda Cardellini was just cast in Camp Crystal Lake, right? That's what it's called, as Pamela
Sometimes.
Voorhees, which I remember seeing that as like a fan casting. I had no idea there was like anything of substance to that. I thought it just was kind of like a fun, what if she got cast? That's what I thought, and now it's real. So, thoughts?
Oh,
I need
okay.
them.
I love Linda. I think she's awesome. I think she's great in the Scooby Doo movies. I thought she was underused in the Avengers, but I'm glad that she was part of that and sort of settled. She's Hawkeye's wife.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's there.
she's awesome, and
Mhm.
she's that kind of actor that's just, she looks like a regular person, but she's also beautiful in such a unique way, and I'm a big fan.
Mhm.
Camp Crystal Lake TV show, stupid idea, ridiculously stupid idea. Bates Motel
Okay.
didn't really work. I wasn't I couldn't get into it because all the good shit happens after the show.
Yeah,
So how if Jason is like a kid? I mean, uh, pardon the term mongoloid, because I think that's how they described him in the 80s.
I
You
believe
know,
so.
so uh, if there's no movie there, I mean, unless she's killing people beforehand, or there's no meat there is what I'm trying to say. So I don't care who's
Mhm.
casting it. I just don't think the show works. I do know Harry Manfredini very well. He's scored my last few movies. He'll be scoring Killer Doll, and he does say he'll be
Mhm.
working on the series. So
Oh,
at least the music will be in keeping with the rest of the franchise.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, true. I forgot. Is Harry doing Killer Doll?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, what's OG Pamela, the actress? What's her name? Why
Oh
am I
God.
forgetting? Do I really need to look this up right now?
Man,
Oh,
I'm
Betsy
blanking.
Palmer. Betsy Palmer. I remember when I did my deep dive on Friday the 13th that she talked about her backstory as Pamela that she came up with just to get into it. And it was essentially that she was a really young mom and got knocked up, and the guy wasn't going to stick around or whatever. And her parents, I guess, disowned her. So she ran away and found refuge at Camp Crystal Lake. But that's all I'm aware of. And I don't even know if they would use that for the show. And also, that's drama. It's not horror. So I feel like just because of what the franchise is, we're supposed to probably expect a slasher series. I guess.
I think we'd be disappointed if it was a family drama, about a mentally handicapped little boy. I mean, I don't think anybody wants that.
Right. I'm gonna skim this Variety article and just see if there's any more info about like the synopsis of the show, because all it's Brad Caleb Kane took over as creator, writer, showrunner. Oh, because it was who's the guy? It's another Brad Fuller.
Brian
No.
Fuller had the show, but I think he lost it. I think somebody else is doing it right now.
Yeah. So now it's Brad Caleb Kane, who's creator, writer, showrunner. So yeah, I remember that was a whole mess. A24 is executive producing. Victor Miller remains on board as an executive producer. So yeah, they still, even with her casting, have not given any information about synopsis or what's going on. Do you think they even know?
I mean, I'm sure they're scratching their heads like, oh shit, okay, what are we gonna do? I mean, it's the same thing with the proposed Halloween TV series. No, man, no, you can't do that.
Right. Was that who ended up with the Halloween rights for that when that was
That's a good that's a good question. I don't remember, but yeah, whoever has it now, that's what they're trying to do. And it's like, I know TV is like the new thing, but not everything is made for TV. TV is supposed to be like, what's good for TV? Doctor shows. You can have 8,000 medical issues. That works. When you have something like a slasher movie, it doesn't really work. The Scream TV series wasn't great for many reasons. But I mean, I guess if you keep it to like limited series, if it's maybe 3 episodes, 4 episodes, then you can do maybe like a mini series. Maybe that'll work. But
I really enjoyed the MTV Scream series, but it wasn't for any technical reason, I would say. It just
guilty pleasure.
Yeah, I would say so. It was fun, and also it gave us Willa Fitzgerald. I think that was kind of where she kicked off. So we do have we owe a lot, I think, to the MTV Scream show. But yeah, Halloween. I'm just surprised that like they're still pushing TV so much, because I get it 5 years ago, obviously, but I don't know. I guess, okay, this is a good question for you. How are you consuming the majority of your culture, I suppose? Because for me, like, I'm fully back at the theater. I'm at the theater, at least twice a week. I'm doing double features on a lot of Thursdays and stuff. So to me, it's like streaming stuff culturally doesn't seem to have much of an impact anymore. Like, I certainly don't really care about most releases. I don't know about a lot of them. So what's your kind of vibe right now?
I'm old school, man. I obviously love the theater, so I go as often as I can. But I'm very much a physical media guy, and I have a stack of unending Blu-rays and 4Ks to work my way through. So I rarely watch TV. I mean, only recently I watched like Adolescence on Netflix, which is great.
So good, so good.
A lot of hype. And I highly recommend it. But I'm only watching movies now. I've been burned by TV so much that I don't want to commit 7 years and be disappointed, or like, man, what a waste of my time to get to this. I just feel as a storyteller, and maybe I don't know if you feel the same way. Stories are finite. They shouldn't go on forever because there's no
Right.
power there. If there's just like, a soap opera, yeah, it can run for 40, 50 years, but whatever. It's they just keep changing the same characters, the same stories over and over again. People like that because it's comfort food. But I think a story that has power should have an ending that makes the journey worth it. And sometimes a TV show will get canceled, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? It was a cliffhanger.
Hmm.
And I can't put myself through that again, basically.
Right. Yeah, and it seems like Netflix's, especially Netflix, like their discernment with what has had kind of a cultural impact and what they should cancel, it's just like such a mess. I don't know that people complain about it so much anymore. I haven't heard of that just because like I don't know if people are really bothering as much anymore. Um I don't do you watch Stranger Things?
Yes, that we do because it's like a family show, so we all, when that comes
Huh.
around, we watch it like for dinner and things like that.
Mhm.
Wednesday, stuff like
Oh yeah, yeah.
sort of the cultural things that speak out. I know my wife still watches a lot of sitcoms. She just
Mhm.
got back into Gilmore Girls, so she's
Good
she's
for her.
watching that. So I
Yeah.
get the comfort aspect of it, but
Mhm.
time for me is so finite that if I'm spending my time, I'm either um, like right now, my Killer Nun movie, I'm sort of in prep, and so I'm watching a ton of Italian like sexy nun movies for research. Um, and
Mhm.
and that's where I spent my time in terms of
Mhm.
my viewing time, I guess. That's the entertainment I choose because I do it for work. But TV
Right.
shows, nah.
I think if there's one TV show on right now that is worth checking out for you in that case, it might be Severance. Because it's pretty like meticulously paced. It feels like there is so much of the story left, and they really kind of the second season was a little slower than the first. They kind of drip it out, but it feels extremely intentional. It doesn't feel like, well, they set this up and had a great first season, but now they don't really know where to go. But otherwise, like Yellow Jackets, I loved the first season so much, and now it kind of seems like it's falling into that sort of trap of not being sure where it's going. And so, yeah, I agree with that. But I do, when there is a good TV show, it's so good. Like I love having that much time with characters and stuff. And so I'm not crazy about the state of TV right now. I also like I love Linda Cardellini. I grew up on those Scooby Doo movies. I thought she was so good in Dead to Me. Did you watch that Netflix show?
A couple episodes, but I didn't stick with it.
Oh, bummer. Well, because who Christina Applegate, I think was her co-star on that one. And between
Mm,
season 2 and season 3, she was diagnosed, I think, with MS. So
mm.
then it got kind of messy and season 3 wasn't great and it was kind of a tragedy, but that was another great modern TV show. So yeah, I mean I'm stoked about Linda Cardellini being in more TV, but I don't know what they're gonna do. I should check in with the chat and see what people are thinking about Camp Crystal Lake. Oh, I love that. That's fun. Intro into horror. Sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, no, no. Go ahead.
Okay. Um, I don't think anyone is considering how truly devastating the death of Jason could be if handled correctly. Get to know this kid, feel for him. I guess, yeah.
I mean, it's okay. I'm not a Rob Zombie Halloween fan, and that's what he tried to do. But his humanizing of Michael Myers was like he's a white trash kid with a horrible family. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't really feel for the dude. So I don't get if he was really trying to get sympathy from us or just to wallow in this white trashiness. I don't know.
I don't
But
know. That's just the Rob Zombie dialogue style, and Michael doesn't speak. So I feel like that was sort of a way around that because once you get to adult Michael in Rob Zombie's Halloween, it's completely uninterested in exploring his psyche. I mean, he's done it just becomes a retread of the original. That's why I prefer Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I don't know if we've ever talked about
whew,
this. Is this a safe space?
talk about hot takes. Holy shit.
Is this a safe space? Look, okay, when the first and maybe the second time that I watched Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I was like utter garbage. Like this movie is so irritating, so horrible. Octavia Spencer, like stand up. What are you doing here? But then I don't know. I gained a few years. I had some mental health problems of my own. Um, and then I watched it again this past year and really, really empathized with Lori. And I was like, damn, I feel so bad that in the past I've called her annoying. Like she's just, I mean, this is just kind of real. Like she's just going through a really bad mental. This isn't about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Anyway, what
Another stream, another
I'm happy
episode.
to defend myself here. Anyway, um oh, we can get into Return of the Living Dead in a little bit. We could talk about that.
I hadn't heard about that. Holy shit.
I that's another thing where like maybe I saw a post about it and didn't think it was real, so just didn't look into it. But do we know the creative team behind the Crystal Lake series? I'll rattle off some more names, and Jose, just let me know if you recognize them, maybe. But so Brad Caleb Kane, no, I'm very unfamiliar. Creator, writer, showrunner, and then Victor Miller is executive producing. I don't really know if he'll really be involved. And then other executive producers, Mark Toberoff, Robert M. Barsamian, Robert P. Barsamian, and Stuart Manishill.
Wait, is Sean Cunningham not a part of this?
He is not mentioned in this Variety article.
Okay, so you know what this means?
Hmm.
This is all Victor Miller then. So Victor Miller got the rights to Friday the 13th, the first movie, which is obviously the Pamela Voorhees story.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole series, it's almost like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. You're not going to have, obviously he's going to be a kid, so don't expect Jason with the hockey mask. But any of that symbolism, he can't use. He can't touch that. He's not allowed to use any of that. It's going to be like Bates Motel. It's just going to be a drama about a mother protecting her sick kid. And maybe the kid's a killer, maybe the mom's a killer. But this is Friday the 13th. We don't want that. That's not a thing that resonates with the fans. We don't come for that. If anything, it's a one and done season, and that's it.
Have you seen the Never Hike Alone films, the fan films?
No, I've heard of them, but I've not watched them.
Okay, because yeah, I had the opportunity to be on set for Vinny DeSanti, the writer and director, and he's very passionate about his kind of his headcanon, if you will, and about the sort of paranormal aspects of the lake and everything. I am pretty certain that this show would take a more grounded approach. But a lot of people in the fandom are like very much on board. You know, I mean, Never Hike Alone, they're obviously like super successful, millions and millions of views and stuff, and people love them. And there is a little bit of a paranormal element when you get to like Never Hike in the Snow, which I think was the second installment. There's animated, there's the Never Hike Alone lore. It's kind of deep, so I don't have it all straight, but I think that it's not really going to matter what they do. There's going to be probably at least half the fandom that's not on board with it, because I think to your point, I'm not interested in like who Jason was. I enjoy the mystery and the fun jump scare at the very end of the original. What is he still doing in the lake? Is he a ghost? I don't know. Who cares? Like, he's gonna go on to be the hockey mask man. Like, it's just, I guess I don't have a curious perspective about what was going on with Jason at that time. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you're right. The mystery is what made that movie so interesting, and weird. And the reason Halloween works is because it's so mysterious. He just kind of, at the end of the movie, the body disappears. Where the fuck did he go? Was he even there? You know, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real magic of a movie. But like, oh well, you know, he went to 6th grade and he got an A on his math test. I don't give a shit. That doesn't make it better.
Right. So this is just, I think no matter what part of the timeline we pick up on, it's just going to answer too many questions that are going to seal off a lot of the imagination of a lot of the fandom, which is problematic. I mean, it's not like Bates Motel really did anything to the legacy of Psycho or whatever. It already had a bunch of sequels and stuff. So I don't know. It's not something that I feel like super passionately about or anything, but it's just kind of like who's the audience supposed to be? I mean, I know it's supposed to be them cashing in on Friday the 13th fans, but like it doesn't really seem like it's for them, so I don't know.
Here's the thing, a lot of these producers, they go, "Oh, we got Friday the 13th. You know who's gonna watch this? Horror people, horror fans. We'll just
Yeah.
put Friday the 13th on, and it'll be whatever, bro, and then we just and then it'll be great." So they're feeding us garbage because they think we'll eat it, you know,
Right.
and it's just it's frustrating, you know, because I being in the industry, I know I know that mentality, and it's you know, the fans are not being served, and it's because we're not getting new stuff, you know, and the new stuff that
Mhm.
does come up has, you know, doesn't get a chance to breathe because there's so much new stuff coming out every week that it just gets buried.
To that point too, uh, if if it's all Victor Miller and only the rights to the original movie, then could there not even be like fan service elements or homages to the rest of the franchise, or do you think they could squeak that in there? You know,
I don't know. I mean, they
like
could
imagery and
try.
stuff.
I mean, you know, Shelley was the guy with the hockey mask. So it's not like hockey played a big part of Crystal Lake in general. Like it wasn't like they
Right.
had a hockey team or anything. So I don't
Right.
know. You know, I don't know. I'm sure they'll try. I mean, they've got Harry, so they've got the music. Um, but if
Mhm.
it's, you know, if we already know that the mom is the killer, then like you know, is there any kind of surprise there? Are we just kind of is it a more of a noir series where she's trying to protect her kid and bumping people off? There could be some interest there, but it
Mhm.
wouldn't feel like a Friday the 13th product,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, I think we're kinda stuck either way because it's not gonna be, I mean, without big killer Jason, it's like, okay, then it's not really gonna be Friday the 13th either way. I wonder, I forget who said it earlier, but they said if it's done well, then the death of Jason himself could actually be really devastating. I wonder if that would be an inciting incident or if that would be held as like the series finale or something.
Well, the
Eh,
question is, did he die?
oh,
Right?
yeah, that too.
Because he was in the lake at the end of that first movie. So was he alive somewhere and then he just swam into the water to grab her? I
Mhm,
mean, you know, did that really happen? You know, she was in the hospital. And she goes, "The boy, where did the boy go?" And like, "What are you
mhm.
talking about, lady?" So, you know, and presumably he didn't die until part 4, you know, and then he became a
Mhm.
zombie.
Right,
So who knows?
right, and then in that case, it would just be that Pamela's little she's just
R-
lost it then because
Right.
he is still alive. Um, yeah, I guess just either way, I don't really want those answers, but, oh, my friend Franny's here, her and Linda Cardellini, I'm sat, interested in seeing what they do, not a big Friday fan. Oh, so I'm open to see how it plays out. So maybe the show is for people that aren't fans of Friday the 13th, actually. I didn't even really think about that.
That's interesting. But if you like the show and then you watch the movies, you're like, wow, this is these don't match up a little bit.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Let's see. Thomas said, can we start doing live pods weekly? It's a little bit of a big ask when you work in the industry, but we need more good conversation about movies from people who know their shit. Well,
Shit.
well, Master Chaos does indeed make movies, sometimes multiple a year, so he does know his shit. But I say we maybe move on from Friday the 13th for now. Um, I remember you telling me we can get back to the John Carpenter stuff, but I think I remember you telling me that you had hot takes on I Know What You Did Last Summer, right?
I do. I
R
don't know. We might all be in the same boat, but yeah, go ahead.
but they feel like they might be spicy. Okay. So we have a new poster, I guess, and a plot synopsis. But essentially it's it just sounds like it's almost like a remake. So let's see. The Who was it? Okay, Robinson's directing the film from a screenplay by Liam McKendrick. Okay, so the screenwriter told Collider in an interview that the sequel will reckon with some big ideas about hero and villain, right and wrong, how your skeletons come back to haunt you. And in the age of the internet and the age where fame is such a revered concept, the creation of TikTok and social media, who is Julie James in a world where there are no secrets anymore? Um, And when she went in to pitch her take to Sony, the most important things they wanted to hear about were the accident, the event that kicks it off, and who the killer is. So, essentially, again, it's there are 5 friends that inadvertently cause a car accident, and they cover up their involvement. And they turn to 2 survivors of the legendary Southport massacre of 1997 for help. So it's giving remake. What are your thoughts?
It's giving piece of shit. What a dumb. Oh my god.
Damn, give it to him.
Okay, look. So this franchise, and I have a storied past. Funny enough, Kevin Williamson wrote the script before Scream. When Scream took off, then he was able to get this one sold. I was never a big fan of the first one. Obviously, it's got my secret wife, Sarah Michelle Gellar. So I went to see it, and I was so excited. I was very disappointed. I really do not like the first one at all. I think it's not a really good movie. Mainly
I really enjoy it. For the record,
go ahead.
I really enjoy the original.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fair enough. I felt there was a lot of structural issues. I'm not going to get into a whole breakdown of why structurally it didn't work for me, but I wasn't a filmmaker at the time, but I was studying screenwriting, and I knew I wanted to make movies, so I would watch movies as a, if I were writing, I'm like, God, I really don't like the way this is laid out. It feels really, really awkward. The reveal is dumb because it's like, well, okay, I won't spoil it for anybody, but anyway, I really did not like the first one, but I wanted to like it because of Sarah Michelle Gellar. Anyway, second one comes out. Loved it. It's great. It's fantastic. Shut up. It's fantastic.
It's fine.
Jack Black. Oh, come on. It's so fun. It does what the first one didn't do. It entertained me, and it made me have fun. I think the first one was too serious. Maybe that was the problem. I think it was a little too like what are you waiting for? Like, get the fuck out of here. Come on.
Okay, but I do love self-serious camp when like they didn't mean it, but we can laugh anyways.
Right. Second one, loved it. It's a great movie, super fun. I'd probably watch that one more often than the first one. Then the third one. Are you familiar with the third film in the franchise?
I just watched it for the first time. Indeed. Yes.
What a horrible thing that is.
It's so bad.
You know what? I'm gonna spoil it for everybody, so you don't have to watch it. They turned the fisherman into a ghost that hunts you as a ghost.
Yeah, it's like they kind of Jasonify him a little bit because he becomes this like indestructible hooded kind of thing.
Yeah, he's like a monster ghost. He's not a person anymore. Stupid, so dumb. Now a remake. Oh, there was a TV show. Did you ever see that? I think it was a TV show.
I did. It got 1 season. I watched the whole season. It wasn't good, but it was like tonally a little similar to the MTV Scream show, so I stuck it out, and it wasn't good.
I watched like the first 5 minutes, and there was like it cut to like a dude whole ass naked taking a piss. And you saw his wiener pissing. I'm like, what's happening here? How is this? How did they get away with that? And I go, this isn't for me. This isn't my show. So I never went past that.
Okay, for the record, I forgot about that part. For the record.
Not that you're into that. I mean, maybe you aren't. Whatever. That's a different conversation. But look, the remake. Obviously, they're gonna remake it. Oh, Scream's doing well. Well, let's bring. What else we got? Oh, I know we did last summer. Okay, great. Let's do it again. But the fact that they're literally doing it again, and then just adding the thing like, oh, let's go ask these people who also killed somebody. How do they know, man? This was a secret. The first movie didn't get in the tabloids. Nobody knows that happened. So how do these kids discover, Ray and whatever her name is, Julie, oh, hey, you killed somebody, and he chased you with a hook. So how did you guys get away? What the fucking stupid.
It's gonna have to be a thing where they don't find the survivors. Maybe the survivors find that. You know what? That doesn't make sense either, does it?
Bad garbage.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing is like it's packaged as a reboot, but the synopsis and everything it's just the same. So I don't know. I remember being excited that Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. were gonna come back. But then I don't know, those emotions had nowhere to go because I was like, well, what but then what? Because they're not now I know that they're not gonna be the main characters. So it's not like a some 30 years later
Yeah.
reflection or something. Like even I think even that would be better than just a straight up remake packaged as a reboot, because then in that case it's like I know we've done the grief metaphor thing to death and unpacking trauma to death, but it's like I don't know, those characters are interesting to me and whatever. I like the actors, so that I think I'd be a little bit more fine with that. But um it's still supposed to come out this summer apparently.
Wow.
I have not heard anything about production, if it's in production yet.
Well, I think it's wrapped.
Is it already?
Yeah.
Do you hear that through the grapevine, or is that has that actually been announced? Because
I
I
could
really
swear I swear I picked that up. I don't know if my buddy Killjoy Jake said it or something, but I could have sworn
mm.
I picked up on that like in Twitter or something or X, whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, okay. I because I looked at on Joe Blow, they reported on this on the 27th, so just a couple days ago, and they didn't mention anything about production. So, all right. Well, I hope that's true. I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm not. This isn't one of my most anticipated, but um,
No.
yeah, especially if they hadn't really beefed that TV show, then maybe I'd be more excited. I don't know. We'll never know. I think I'll let you choose the next topic. We've got John Carpenter apparently wants to direct again. We've got some Hell House news. We could talk about Bring Her Back, Happy Death Day 3.
Oh, I love Happy Death Day, so I'm up for that.
Okay. Do you know, are you aware of what's going on yet? I got to give a little spiel for everybody, but have
I'm
you
not. Not. You can go
Okay.
ahead and fill us all in.
Okay, well then maybe we can all kind of just skim this article together. So this I love Happy Death Day. To be
Love it.
clear, I enjoyed the second movie as well. Did you?
I loved it.
Yeah, I had a good time. I haven't rewatched it since it came out, but anyway, this might piss you off if you enjoyed it. So yeah, the Christopher Landon Peacock talked about turning Happy Death Day 3 into a 3-part streaming event.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, Landon said I didn't write the script because I never want to count my chickens and get ahead of myself. I was ready to go and start writing this, but then it was sort of like it was weird. We had a lot of fits and spurts in terms of maybe we'll do it. At one point, they talked about it becoming a 3-part event thing for Peacock, which was kind of weird. I was like, all right, whatever it takes. But then it went away, and that was the last we ever heard of it, which was years ago. It's been an interesting journey because both movies were financially very successful. So I think it's left us and a lot of fans scratching their heads as to why we weren't allowed to make a third. But I don't control the purse strings. I don't call those shots. It's entirely up to Blumhouse and Universal if they have an appetite or interest in it, which is really sad because I know that it's been teased before. He gets asked, like, whenever he has something coming out, even if it's not something he directed, like I bet he'll be asked about it, like when Drop comes out too. But he's always asked about it because I know that Happy Death Day has its fans. So to hear that it was strung along at Peacock for some 3-day event, I'm like, what? Like you're gonna turn the third movie of the trilogy into a TV show? Like, so yeah, like I said, that might piss some people off. It pissed me off. Your thoughts?
you know, I love that. I love that he loves the franchise and that he understands there's people who love Tree and the characters and everything.
Mhm.
And I think that should make us feel really good that he's still pulling for a part 3. I think if he's in charge, I think it's going to be just as fun as the other ones.
Mhm.
I don't know that I need a 6-hour part 3 or whatever the hell it's going to end up being. Um, but at the same time, look, let's be honest. And I know people at Blumhouse, but whatever. I'm Master Chaos now. So, um, 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 they haven't released anything good in a long time. Why not take the money that they gave to Woman in the Fucking Yard and give it to Happy Death Day 3? You will make much more money.
Yeah.
Even if it's not even great. You know what? Even if they go to fucking Cowboy Times, it's Back to the Future 3, whatever. It's still gonna be better than Then Woman in the Yard, which I didn't see, but I did see spoilers, and fuck that movie. Horrible. But I don't understand. I don't understand why they think it's not viable. They've already made two. I don't know what it is. I really don't understand. Producers, you can never unpack their mind. They're so like I'm
Enigmatic.
sure the werewolf thing in Wolfman. I'm sure the fact that it wasn't a actual wolf man. I'm sure that was a Blumhouse decision. That was a Jason Blum thing. I have a feeling. I don't know why. Producers, man. Crazy.
Their minds are very enigmatic. This is true. It- I don't know. I'm just completely at a loss because they were financially successful. I thought that Christopher Landon had a plan. Like, I was under the assumption that maybe he did have the script, and for whatever reason he just was shuffled around or something. But also, like, maybe take some of that Five Nights at Freddy's money. I don't know. The Blumhouse confuses me so much. The only original movies of theirs that I've seen over the past like 4 or 5 years have, the majority of them, I think, have been on streaming. They've like dumped them on Amazon, and then they just push out these like big dumb sequels to stuff. So why not Happy Death? Like, I don't know. It's a baffling situation, and we really just don't have enough information. But someone wanted to know actually where they can see the stuff that you've made. It's a good question.
Well, right now the easiest way, the freest way is Tubi. Tubi has a ton of my stuff. Monster Mash is on there. I believe The Exorcists is on there. What else is on there? Killer Doll will eventually be up there, but probably not until like December. But yeah, Tubi's probably the easiest spot.
Okay. Right on. Oh, wait. Franny said that Jennifer posted a goodbye to Julie on March 13th. Oh, so they must have wrapped this month then? Okay. Surprised I haven't heard about that, though. Yeah, exactly. Happy Death Day gave us one of the best 2010s Final Girls. I agree. I don't know if it would be like Fear Street, where it's like 3 distinct movies. I just kind of assumed that they were trying to turn it into like a little mini series moment or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird that they would suggest that at all, especially for that movie. That feels like it has to be a contained, for the timeline to work. You don't want to mess it up and be like all over the place with, having to deal with 6 hours of time. It's very strange.
It is. Also, whatever happened to Jessica Roth? She was in a movie with Bill Skarsgård just last year, actually. Boy Kills World. Did you see that one, Jose?
Yes, good movie.
Yeah, I had fun. I thought it was okay. The Bob's Burger voice was like really threw me off. Because coming out of Bill Skarsgård's face, like that didn't work. But yes, The Woman in the Yard got people talking. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend. We won't get into spoilers though, in case you want to go see. But Jose, you're right not to go see it. I'll just say that. Oh, we've got 100 people here. Yay! Oh, now 99 maybe, but. Yay for a second. All right. Well, I guess we can finally see whatever John Carpenter just dangled for us. He said he'd love to direct again, given the right circumstances. I believe that he has not directed since 2010. I think was The Ward. Yes, which I'm not going to hold you. I don't hate that movie.
I hate it.
I think it's okay. I won't say I think it's good. I think it's okay. Yes. Oh, it's literally at the top of this article. Yeah. It's been 15 years since his last movie, The Ward. But he's been staying busy with music, etc. Oh, he's getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in April. And nice. I did send that to Scott, and I was like, should we go? Should we crash? I mean,
if you want to meet him, I've met him before. He's always signing his comic books at Big Apple Comics, I think, on Melrose. Like he's there like every other month. So if you want to meet him, let me know, and I'll just I'll make you aware when he's signing again. He's the weirdest dude. He's like, hey man, I'm such a big fan. You're a big reason why I'm in the film business. Oh, okay. Like he seems nice, but I think he's very he's very checked out. So I'm sorry. Continue.
That makes sense. No, I honestly, and I respect someone that can be real, and if he doesn't want to pretend like he cares about some stranger sharing their life story, I kind of respect it. But
Right.
anyway, let's cruise on down. We could talk to Johnny, our friend Johnny. So yeah, he's getting his star on the Walk of Fame. He just recently agreed to score Bong Joon-ho's new horror movie, which Bong Joon-ho's doing a horror movie. Maybe we should talk about that too. But yeah, so then he was asked his plans to direct in the future. He said, "Plans? I don't know." I would love to direct again given the right circumstances, but I'm not the same kid anymore who will do it for any amount of money. I can't back into a budget anymore. I'm too old, it's too hard, but directing is the love of my life. I'll never stop loving that. So yeah, I guess and back in 2019 he said it would be a project that I like that's budgeted correctly. Nowadays they make these young directors do movies for 2 million when the movie is written for 10 million. You know about that. So you have to squeeze it all in there, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I am kind of surprised to see him say that like directing is his love and always will be, because I feel like, I mean, generally, at least you and I know that even if you're making negative money, you have to be doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll tell you what this is. This is a non-story. He's been saying this for years. For years. Oh yeah, I'd love to make a movie depending on the money and the blah 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 blah.
damn.
I think he's retired for good. The Ward was a for hire gig, you
Mhm.
know, that they brought him on. If you see behind the scenes footage, he's kind of like, he looks so bored. He's just sitting at the chair, like directing. You know, it just seemed
Mhm.
like he wasn't, like his heart wasn't in it. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just a whole bunch of, you know, setbacks. Maybe Ghost of Mars really took it out of him. I don't know. But
Oof.
I was a kid when John Carpenter was delivering hit after fucking hit after hit. I remember renting Escape from New York on VHS and be like, "Oh my god, this is so fucking cool." You know, and he's my idol when it comes to horror filmmaking and genre filmmaking in general. And I always try to emulate his style and the way I frame things. I liked how he crowds a frame, and he really knows how to place people. I love that. But look, you're right. If you love making movies, you'll be making movies till you die. Martin Scorsese, an example. That guy's never gonna stop. I don't know how old he is.
Mhm.
90 years old. He's got 2 movies greenlit already.
He's, I think, 80 or maybe 81 now.
He's definitely an old gentleman.
Yeah.
And he's not gonna stop. He'll never stop. He loves movies so much. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously it's different. Martin Scorsese is an Academy Award winning director, and you know, John Carpenter was relegated to, dare I say, B level. You know, I mean, he was high at one point,
Mhm.
but I mean, he still has a name. If he puts his name on anything, he can get anything greenlit. I can 100% guarantee it. It's
Mhm.
on him. It's on him to say, okay, I'll do it. It's worth the effort. I think, honestly, from what I've heard, people who know him, he just likes to stay at home and play video games. That's his thing.
Mhm.
He's an Xbox guy, and I think that's it. I think he's just tired. I don't expect him to direct anything anytime soon.
Yeah, I know, and he's besides the recent Halloween trilogy, he's still scoring, I believe, because also he's going to be doing Bong Joon-ho's upcoming movie. So I know, like, I don't know if it's always been the case, but like music has seemingly, to me, based on research, and it seems like music is kind of first and foremost his
Mm.
love. And I wanted to bring him up just because like there's kind of like a lot of little periphery news. The star, Bong Joon-ho, and then also he I don't know if it's going to be a residency, I can't remember, but he announced a show, I think at the Hollywood Bowl. If not at the Bowl, it's somewhere in LA.
Yeah,
Um
I'm blanking on the name, but I know what you're talking about. I tried
yeah.
to get tickets, but holy crap, they're expensive as shit.
No, really?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
already
it's
came
too
on
much.
and I fucking missed it.
There might be seats available, but I'm like, I'm not paying that. That's way too much.
I mean, I can't, yeah, I probably, whatever it is, I'm probably not gonna be able to afford it. So hopefully it's something he maybe does annually, kind of like Danny Elfman, and maybe we'll hop on it earlier next time.
Mm.
But yeah, our unbothered king, exactly that. Yeah, I thank you so much, Lexius. Appreciate it. I'll be going to see Friendship. You're
I'm
stoked on
excited.
that?
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I love Tim Robinson. I think he's a genius.
Yeah, I'll be going to see that for sure. Looks like there's plenty of good stuff coming up recently. With horror though, I don't know. I think I'm really excited for Sinners. I already have my tickets. How do you I can't remember like how much of a gamer you are. I know you've played some stuff. Until Dawn, where are you at right now?
Oh yeah, I beat that. You mean the movie or the game?
Yeah, like yeah, do you play? Are you excited? You know, like cuz I don't know, the fandom seems really split based on the look of the new movie.
Yeah, no, it's very different from the game. The game is
Mhm.
fantastic, and the way it's designed, every choice changes where you're going. Fantastic game. And it's a game that's easy for people who don't game a lot because it's I won't say entry level, but it's not necessarily super difficult either.
Mhm.
Um, the new movie, I like what sort of the mechanic they've set up with the time issue. I don't know how it'll play out, but I'm interested in watching it, and hopefully they do a good job. But there's no
Mhm.
way that they could have told that in a 90-minute movie.
Okay, that's interesting you say that. I didn't know that. I just have seen some of the response be that it looks so different from the game. Like, why is the story so different from the game? Sounds like structurally it couldn't be the same based on what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll get there. I haven't seen the movie, but it doesn't have the same feel because there's no time element in the game. It's like you're playing a movie. Kids in a
Mhm,
cabin, and then shit gets real.
mhm.
But the whole rewinding of time, that's sort of a mechanic like that, but not exactly.
Okay. I guess I won't ask anymore because I like to go in as blind as possible, so I won't ask any more questions.
They all die though.
Don't don't say that. Um, so
Enjoy.
oh, we haven't said your name. I might have let your name slip
Oh.
before. I always tread with caution. I don't know if you want
Yes,
to say your name today.
Jose Prentice. Maybe I should put it in the chat. So
Perhaps. Also, I because this was last minute, I have not updated the description. But you guys should subscribe. If you just look up Master Chaos, you should be able to find him. But um,
I have.
I can also work on fixing that really quick. um,
And I appreciate that.
Sorry. This happens nearly every time that I collaborate with people, I would say, but I'll add your channel to the description and then we will choose another topic. Sorry guys, just one
Oh, do you want to
second.
talk about Bong Joon Ho and how much Mickey 17 sucked?
You know what? I know because I loved Mickey 17 and I
You
had so
loved
much
it.
fun. I think yeah, oh I loved it. It catered to my sense of humor like perfectly and I was so swept up in the performances. I thought Robert Pattinson was fantastic. And it just gave me so much to chew on because it went beyond like Bong Joon-ho obviously like the class commentary is his big thing but then beyond that bringing up questions of like who deserves to exist, who really is the problem and
Hmm.
yeah, I just had a good time. I had a really good time. So
I'm glad. I love Bong Joon Ho, and he has a movie. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see it. It's called Memories of Murder.
mm,
There's a Blu-ray from Criterion. It's so good. It is.
mm.
Exceptionally good. Um, and then he does this, and I'm like, oh man.
Well,
So
I mean,
whatever.
we knew it was gonna be it was gonna have maybe not more broad appeal. It was gonna be more accessible. Well, Parasite's accessible. It wasn't gonna have the prestige of Parasite. Like, I don't know. I had managed that expectation going in. So like, and also I know I never finished it, but I know he directed that movie Host, that like crazy
Great movie.
monster movie
That was
back in the
fun.
day. So I don't know. I didn't have I think we had different expectations maybe, but this isn't about Mickey 17 today. Uh we what else did we have? I think that the Hell House news is really weird, but somebody in the chat did ask our thoughts on Saw 11 being canceled. So, actually, I'll let you share first because I don't think we've talked about this yet.
Saw 11 is, I don't know that it's officially canceled. I mean, I know they said they've pulled it. There was a thing that on the official Saw Twitter account, I think Jigsaw made a post and it goes, the reports of my death or whatever are too soon or something. So, if I Know What You Did Last Summer can come back, Jigsaw is going to come back. If it's a reboot,
Right.
it's a reboot. But he will never go. Dude, there's like 11. No, there's like what, 10 movies? There's no way. They're just going to throw it in the trash. Leprechaun went to space. He went to the hood twice. Jigsaw is coming in some point. The cancellation is maybe they ran out of money or whatever, but it'll eventually go to somebody else and then they'll make it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I don't think the question is like whether or not the franchise is over. It's just this immediate cancellation. I did find on Joe Blow they wrote about it. So let's see. Okay, Strangers Chapter 2 will take its place.
Yay.
Yes, on September 26th. However, okay, projects have been canceled. It's totally dead. It's 100% over. Almost a year now, so the source. Everything went sideways in January 2024. The producers started fighting. Melton, who's Melton? It stalled at a managerial level. It has nothing to do with the creative or anything else. There's higher level things at play. Saw 11 may or may not be made, but we have a very timely story in it, and I hope it gets made just because of that. It taps into the same themes of Saw 10, where you're a citizen, you feel angry and frustrated with something, you feel like you can't do anything, and John Kramer is going to do it. The reason it's held up is just there's inner squabbling between producers and Lionsgate. They just can't quite get on the same page. That's so annoying. Oh yeah, Billy the Puppet. That's what you were saying. I've seen the rumors. They say it's game over. You all should know me better than that. The game is never over. So, yeah, that's all we got about it.
Yeah, Melton's one of the Patrick Melton's one of the writers. He's been on it since 4 or 5. But yeah, man. Producers arguing, that happens. People want more money. That's always that always kills things. But I you know, it's been removed, but it's 100% dead is just sort of like I almost feels like PR move. Like, let's see what the fans think. Are the fans pissed off? Oh, the fans are pissed off. Oh, there is interest. They do shit like that all the time to play with our emotions to see how our reactions would be. And then they'll act on that.
That's so crazy because it's like it's the same studio and same franchise that was busting out a movie every single year because the hype was there. And with Saw 10, like I didn't know anybody that didn't love it. Personally, I mean, even critically, like it I think wasn't it like the first Saw movie ever to get a fresh on Rotten Tomatoes since like the original movie or something? Like even critics liked it. So I don't know. To me, that's just their minds. I guess that's our thesis of the day. Like producers' minds, we're just not going to understand. Because it just seems like such a slam dunk to me. And I thought that I remembered also like rumors about Tobin Bell's health or something, but that's not mentioned there. So that's something that my brain made up because it seemed to make sense. I guess it's not about him. I don't know. But on that note, like I hate it feels kind of crass to say, but it's like he is older now. It's difficult for people of his age and older to work doing what we do. Like what we do is very physically demanding, you know? So like I just don't like using the phrase like, oh, he's not getting younger, but you know what I mean?
And something weird about Tobin Bell, his career didn't really benefit from the Saw movies at all. You know, Robert Englund, you know, he went off to do tons of either cameo appearances or other roles and things, but Tobin Bell really didn't get anything out of it. Like he didn't become the sort of prolific Vincent Price type character that I think he should have been, which is a shame. And also side tangent, he shops at the Ralph's by me. I didn't see him, but I was wearing a horror T-shirt, and we're checking out, and the cashier's like, "Hey, you know who was just here?" I'm like, "No, who?" He goes, "Jigsaw was here, man." I'm like, "What? Oh yeah, Jigsaw was here. He just bought some milk." I'm like, "Oh wow, cool." So there you go. Jigsaw drinks milk.
The
Breaking news.
inside scoop you didn't know you were gonna get tonight, folks. Wow. So I guess that's kind of all I have though. On Saw, I don't think I'm gonna be saying anything new to say I'm disappointed it's been replaced by The Strangers Chapter 2. But I guess on that note, what are your expectations for The Strangers Chapter 2, Master Chaos?
Well, I really hated the first one because
Right.
it was such a ripoff. And I had look, I love Rennie Harlin, the director. Love
Mhm.
Rennie Harlin. I'm a Rennie Harlin super fan. Die Hard
Mhm.
2, Deep Blue Sea, Cutthroat Island, Long Kiss Goodnight. He's
Mhm.
so fun. And I got to meet him in person. And unlike John Carpenter, I shook his hand. He goes, "Oh, thank you so much." And he was really nice, and then he was like friendly. He was like, "Oh wow, yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad you like my stuff."
Mhm.
Um, um, but man, I don't know why he took this gig. I mean, obviously he needed to work. That's kind of why people would take jobs that aren't necessarily in their wheelhouse.
Mhm.
But he started making horror. He did one. I think he did Nightmare 4, I think, or 5. I think it was 5.
Oh, that
Um,
might be. Let me see.
yeah, he did one of the nightmares. But this was, I mean, the script. It was just it's just a like a complete copy of the first movie. Very little new things, and now
Mhm.
they're turning that into a trilogy. So why didn't you just start fresh? Give us a different thing. So frustrating. So I'm not really holding out hope that 2 will be any better,
Mhm.
but we'll see.
Yeah, I saw because I follow Madeline Petch. I follow pretty much the entire Riverdale cast on Instagram, and she posted some kind of teaser where I wonder if I can. I don't know if I can find it online. Maybe I can. Because it was giving me the vibe that she's not that she'll be a villain, but maybe she's gonna kind of enter like her final girl arc. I don't know.
Mm.
That was just kind of what I was picking up on. No, because if I look up like marketing materials, it's just the teaser and the trailer coming up. So I don't think I'm able to find it. But if you guys want to see what I'm talking about, just look her up on Instagram. She posted this video, and I don't know. It's sort of like a guess who's coming back, and she looks all like kind of
Jeez.
badass and stuff. I don't know. So I'm assuming that's kind of like the new direction it's gonna be taking because, like you said, chapter 1 was just a complete retread of the first movie. So I'm assuming it's kind of like her against this whole town or something. I don't know. I can't really say I've cared too much to put a lot of thought into it, to be honest with you all.
I know
Um,
they said they were gonna have 2 new masks, so which is interesting.
oh,
I don't remember what it. I think it was the witch. My son would know because he loves killers and masks.
mhm.
And he has them in his room. But I don't. It was the witch and something else. So there was gonna be like 2 new characters. So that
Oh,
might be kind of fun.
I do remember seeing something about that, but I don't remember what they were. I think Cash also made a good point. Surprised Tobin Bell didn't get the Robert Englund level of fame, but it seems like David Howard Thornton might be getting luckier. And on that note, I have to ask if you're gonna go see. Oh wait, no, maybe you've already seen it. Screamboat. I'm going to a screening on Wednesday. Screamboat with David Howard
No,
Thornton.
I've not seen that. And
Okay.
yeah, I I didn't know that he was the mouse in that. I've seen 2 Mickey Mouse slasher movies. One directed by a friend of mine.
Mhm.
That's technically in the Blood and Honey universe, but not really.
Did Brendan just decide that? Just
No, that was supposed to be the case, and then
oh,
I don't know how much I can say really, but
okay.
Winnie the Pooh is in it.
Oh,
You can watch it on Tubi. It went straight to Tubi. So
Mouse of Horrors,
Mouse of
everybody.
Horrors. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the other one you've seen then?
Oh god, it was so fucking bad. Mousetrap, I think. Is it
Oh,
Mousetrap?
I remember your Letterboxd review. Are you
So
Master Chaos on
boo.
Letterboxd, by the way?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, just so people know. Yeah, maybe put that in the chat if you'd like. I love Letterboxd. I love following people there.
I love it.
I feel like I'm the only person in the world who didn't hate chapter 1. Some people
It's okay.
didn't.
It's all
If
right.
you're entertained, I'm jealous, you know. Oh, yeah, this is another good point. I'm shocked Stephen Lang hasn't gotten a lot more roles after his performance in Don't Breathe. Yeah, he was an Avatar. Um he I feel like I saw him in something else. But yeah, I mean, he's also just another great actor.
He's worked a ton. I think what I've heard is he's difficult to work with, and I think maybe that
Gee.
yeah, that might rub people the wrong way.
Mm.
But
I
yeah,
was thinking of there's this movie he did called Old Man, but it came out in 2022. I never saw it, but it's on Hulu right now. So yeah, I guess he's done like another few things here and there, but like Avatar is his main, that's his bread and butter right now. Okay, I think we just had a couple other things to get. Oh, right, right. Okay, first of all, let's just set the stage here. What are your thoughts on Hell House? The original and then also like as a franchise. Have you seen it?
I have. They're fine. I don't. Hey, congrats that they were able to build a franchise off of that. I mean, I think the first one has some effective stuff in it.
Mhm.
But I know. I think it was. Gosh, was it Umbrella in Australia? They released like a big ass box set of the entire franchise.
Oh.
I wouldn't be getting it, but they're
Mhm.
fine. They're fine.
Mhm. Okay, so then you know that the entire franchise is found footage. The fifth movie of the franchise will not be.
Hmm.
So, uh, I'm inclined to think that's pretty weird. Do you have any thoughts? Do you care?
I don't care, but I do have I do have a thought that's very similar. I'm assuming you've seen because I know you have a tattoo. You've seen Blair Witch 2?
I have.
So I'm old enough to have seen Blair Witch in theaters, and when like the hype was real. Oh fuck yeah! Oh my god, this is real.
Mhm,
Then the second one came out. Oh, they're making a sequel. How are they gonna make a sequel? And it was a narrative movie. It was not a found footage movie. Um, and at first, everyone hated it, like it tanked. It was like this is stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
mhm,
However, if you go back and rewatch it without taking it out of the world of the first movie and seeing it for what it is, that filmmaker made a really goddamn interesting movie with so many layers that
mhm,
I think it's unfortunate that it didn't get its due. It was almost too smart for the audience, and I think in my mind, that movie has aged well. I don't
mhm.
know that the Hell House, whatever narrative version would age well or be good, but I'm not running out to see it regardless.
I it really gives me pause because I'm not like crazy about the franchise. I think it's really enjoyable. I had I don't know, I had a day that I was like, I think deep cleaning my room or something. And so I watched, I think all 4 movies in a single day, or I watched like 2 through 4 in a single day. It was a great day. Like it was really nice. 2 in particular is very much a background movie. That one, I really thought the second one was bad, but I just overall like find it enjoyable. Uh so I don't know. To me, it kind of throws off the flow of things. Blair Witch, I think that's better because it's like they didn't build a whole found footage franchise. I think it's like
Mhm.
if they tried to make a Paranormal Activity movie now that wasn't found footage, it's just like it. Just I can't really articulate it. It just the vibe seems off. Like
Mhm.
it's because the story of Hell House, I think part 4 was like a prequel. Was it a prequel or was it just I
I
don't remember.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I just know that in part 4, like parts of the backstory were explored, and so I don't maybe that's where I'm getting it from. But it I j I don't know. It just makes me feel like where are they gonna go from there then? Because we've already done the thing where we like unveil the backstory and whatever. So it's it's just part of the charm to me. It's like it's not a story, even with them developing the backstory and stuff. It's not really a story that I'm like super super gripped by, or like the writing is really what took me in with this. It's the charm, honestly, for me, kind of is the found footage. Maybe that's what it is. And yeah, I don't know. We can see with the audience what they're thinking. Oh, they did the same thing with the Rec movies. Oh.
No, not exactly.
No?
Well, no, you're right. You're right. I'm
I've only
trying
seen
to
the
think back.
first two.
There were elements of the third movie that were found footage, and the fourth one, yeah, you're right. The fourth one was more of a narrative movie. Those are fucking great. That's a great
Mhm.
franchise. Highly recommend those.
I love the first two, and then I
Yeah.
haven't had the chance to finish it, but anyway, oh, this
Here's a
mhm.
funny aside. Sorry to interrupt. Speaking of franchises that want to change their direction midstream, I'm not gonna say who, but I know a filmmaker who's done some fairly well known indie hits, and he was approached to make a Friday the 13th movie, and it was a dream come true for him. He was like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. But the thing was, they wanted to make a found footage Friday the 13th movie. And so he goes, okay. He even went out and shot like a thing in the woods as a test. Hey, this is kind of what I would do. But then the project died. But there was a time where we
Hmm.
would have gotten a Friday the 13th sequel that was found footage.
That's an interesting alternate universe out there. That's
Yeah.
existing somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Um, actually, the first Never Hike Alone follows this hiker who is also he like makes hiking and camping content. So part of it actually is like it is a little bit of a found footage vibe, actually.
Mm.
But oh, this Bobbeyoncé. Master Chaos, I've seen you on Wet Movies videos for over 10 years. Congrats on your recent filmography. Awesome to see. It
Thank you.
is. We do love to see it.
Beyonce.
Yeah, I like that.
That's good.
This would be a good topic if I watched trailers. Did you watch
Oh,
the
yeah. That's
you
right. You don't
did?
like trailers. She'll go to the movies and cover her eyes,
I
or we'll
do.
wait outside.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
do.
I think it looks great. I'm excited. I'm a huge fan of the franchise. I don't think there's a bad one in the bunch.
Agree.
So I'm excited for 6. It seems
Mhm.
like, well, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil any elements
Mhm.
from his hippie over here. So I won't say anything. But it seems like they're going in an interesting direction. I just hope it's not too much that you're like rolling your eyes by the end of it. Like, come on,
Mhm.
Tony Todd can't be Santa Claus. Sorry, I gave that away.
I don't think I'll put that on my worry list. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't weigh in. I'm pretty excited. I am still like kind of trying to manage my expectations, but even the so-called like bad egg of the franchise part 4, I love. So I think I'll be okay either way.
Yeah.
um yeah. Uh okay, I think we've just got a couple other topics left. The one that I really wanted to get into, because I'm just curious how people are interpreting this, is the Bring Her Back poster, which was just released. So, oh, I didn't know the teaser trailer was out yet. Won't be watching that. Sorry, not going to react to that. But we have we have the poster. I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but
Mm,
that's essentially it. So yeah, all I know about this is that it stars Sally Hawkins, who I love, Shape of Water,
yeah.
and we have this poster now. So, do you know any details? Because I think it'd be fun to like speculate on this poster, but if you know, then it's less fun.
I have no idea.
Okay, okay, fun.
Yeah.
Okay, my first impression is like I feel a similar vibe to Talk to Me. I'm getting a little bit of a like maybe Evil Dead kind of feeling. It looks like it's gonna be fucked up. I don't know. What are your give us like 3 adjectives, or what's hitting you from this?
Crunchy, flashy. No.
Mm.
You
Crunchy.
know, I don't know if the person on the poster is a child, or is it a woman with short hair? I can't tell
Huh.
what exactly we're looking at, but I get
Mhm.
folk horror vibes. So
Oh, yeah.
Wicker Man, maybe, I don't know, maybe, maybe it's
Mhm.
like a cult thing. I don't know.
Right, yeah. When you said that, I just noticed this, reminds me of Arrival. Have you seen that Alien movie?
Oh, I love that movie.
So good. So
Amazing.
good. Um, yeah, true. Ooh, I hope it has a folk horror element. Because then, I mean, I guess, like, yeah, I would consider, well, Talk to Me is maybe more paranormal, but I feel
Hmm.
like just with the hand, it has like folk horror elements, I would say. That it's like ritualistic, you know? So if they're staying within that, I'm fine with. Oh, there's also like a little symbol on the hand.
Mm.
This little,
That's definitely like a culty kind of thing.
that's, I think that's an element symbol, actually. Like
Hmm.
triangles and lines, they're like earth, fire,
Hmm.
wind, water. I don't know which one this is. But yeah, so yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah. Folk horror vibes for sure. Let's see what people are saying in the chat as well. Wait, where did you see this? I just looked up this. I was doing all my research today and I did not see this. Coming out
Hmm.
2026. I believe it when I see it. Sources. uh I do as well. It reminds me a lot of Talk to Me. I don't know, like if it's really similar to Talk to Me, that's fine. I would prefer they branch out a little more just because they're still in development for Talk to Me, the sequel. So I think that's what it's going to be called as well, Talk to Me. Um, and also they had shot prequel footage as well ahead of shooting the first Talk to Me, but I don't know if that's footage we're ever going to be able to see, unfortunately.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I do hope that it branches out. I hope it's different. I thought that they made a Talk to Me sort of sequel prequel before before this shot found footage style. Okay,
Huh.
I didn't know that. You think it looks like the hand from Talk to Me? I don't know. I think it looks different, but um
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Those eyes could kill. I feel like it looks more like possession than anything else. That's why I was getting like Evil Dead vibes, but yeah, I think we just don't know enough info to really speculate on that yet. But I am
Yeah.
excited. I actually have we ever talked about Talk to Me? Do you like Talk to Me? I
I
just
don't like.
realized that
I don't like to talk to you. No.
I,
Uh, no. I liked it, but I wasn't. Pardon my French, creaming my jeans over it. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh my god, it's the greatest thing!" It was good. It was, but I don't know. Maybe I've become jaded, but it didn't blow me away.
I saw it in theaters twice, and then they did a re-release in IMAX, and that was when I mean, I loved it before, but seeing it in IMAX was huge. That was big. And yeah, it was more frightening and intense, and I recommend if it comes back to IMAX. But I can get that, you old timer, you've been around the
I'm
block a little
well,
too long. You've seen it
you
all,
know.
haven't you?
I don't. Movies don't scare me anymore. That's
Yeah.
why I tend to really like the fun ones. I think I grew up in a time when horror movies were fucking a fucking blast, and
Mhm.
they're still beloved for a reason, man. I don't want to
Mhm.
go and sit there and be fucking depressed. I didn't come for that. I wanted to have some fun.
Sure. Okay.
Not that
2010s
not
must have
that
been kind of hard for you.
yeah. But yeah, yeah, it was a good movie. It was well done, and
Mhm.
I'm glad that it really catapulted their career. They're YouTubers, so good for them.
Yeah, it spells out hope for us, doesn't it? So,
Hmm.
all right. Well, the last thing that I had on the docket was the fact that I guess Victoria Justice is uh is coming back to the silver screen. I don't know. I don't think there's that much information about this. This isn't like big news, but Robbie Amell, I do love him. He's in the Babysitter movies. Are you Babysitter, yay or nay, Jose?
Yay, I like those.
Yeah, I like him a lot. So he's gonna be in it. He plays the guy that's always shirtless for no reason. And we got Victoria Justice, starring in a Josh Trank horror thriller. And
Ooh, Josh Trank. Oh wow.
Oh, you're familiar. Okay, tell me more.
Yeah,
because I'm not.
well, Josh Trank, I might say it here, sank his
Mhm.
career with his Fantastic Four movie with
Oh, there it is.
what's his face? Whiplash guy. I'm blanking on his name. But
Miles Teller?
yeah, with Miles Teller.
Yep.
Sank his career, totaled it.
Damn.
Not just because the movie was bad, but just because of like, he was shitting on the studio and the studio was shitting on him, and it was like a whole thing.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's messy. There's plenty of YouTube content out there covering it. So to see that he's back with something, it's funny when you said, "Oh, Victoria Justice is back." My mind went to, "Who the hell is Victoria Justice?"
Oh,
But now seeing her face, I'm like, "Oh, Disney,
Yeah.
right? Nickelodeon
Yeah.
or something." Okay.
Yeah, she would have been before your kid's time because she was my time. She was on Nickelodeon actually.
Okay.
She had her own show Victorious, and that was where like Ariana Grande became really famous.
Okay.
Yeah, so she because of like her this is all kind of like I believe this is all kind of like alleged info, but it's been documented just countless times that it's likely because of like her interactions and working with Dan Schneider that kind of like tanked her career ultimately, and why she's never kind of like taken off. But as I understand it now, I think she has like a really big social media presence, and she's just been kind of chugging along and still making music and stuff. So I think this is really cool. I think this is really exciting. I've always liked her. This it's going to be called Send a Scare, and centers on an interactive horror startup that gives thrill seekers a way to send scares to friends and family. But when potential investors host a demonstration, the experience gets hijacked by a real masked killer with a deadly agenda. So it doesn't sound like the most unique thing in the world, but
It sounds like Countdown. Did you see Countdown? That was
I
horrible.
did.
I love the girl in that. I'm blanking on her name, but man, what a shit movie.
Yeah, wait. Oh, no, but cuz she was also in You. Oh,
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Yeah. Season
What was her
1,
name?
yeah.
Oh, Elizabeth Lail. Was she
Yeah.
in Five Nights at Freddy's? She is in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yep.
That's her.
Yep.
That's her. Yep. Okay, yeah. Wait, why did she come up? Because Countdown. Sounds like Countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I just thought that was worth bringing up, especially if you're in a similar demographic to me. Then it's like, oh, Victoria Justice coming back to acting. It's cool because she's I forget. I think that Victorious ended like in maybe 2011 or something. I don't know. I don't think she's been acting for the better part of a decade. If she has, it's maybe she's done like some independent stuff, but stuff I'm completely oblivious to. So this is cool. This is fun. And I really like Robbie Amell too. So I'm excited to see them on screen together. Is there anything that I have potentially missed? Is there anything did you do any digging today? Anything you wanted to chat about or
I didn't do any digging today, but tomorrow, I don't know if I know you're a physical media person, but I don't know if you know Vinegar Syndrome, that label.
Of course.
Okay, so they're dropping their April slate tomorrow. I'm going live to cover it, and every April for the past 3 years, they've done an April Fool's Day item. It's a secret item. It's a mystery item, and for the past 2 years, well, the first 2 years, it was like $10, and it was like an alternate slip. Last year it was $25, and you got an extra movie. It was a shitty movie, but still, it's rare because if you didn't get it at the time, you're never going to get it again because they only have it for like a limited time. So I'm hoping that whatever the mystery thing is that's dropping tomorrow is going to be exciting. But in terms of, it's funny. I saw a question in the chat that I wish I could answer. Yeah, I wish I could answer that. The truth is never. I'm gonna be honest with you. Full moon's on a different path at the moment, but it was gonna be fucking good.
Is this something that's listed on your IMDb or something that hasn't?
Yeah,
light of day?
It's still on there. It's still on there.
Okay.
But
I've got your channel linked in the description box, by the way. I fixed that like an hour ago. So that is there. If you guys want to check out his streams, yeah, he covers physical media stuff. Anyway, I might have interrupted.
Appreciated. No, so anyway, so I'm excited for the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, but I'm curious. I don't know if we've ever had a chat about what your favorite Grindhouse movie is, and don't say Grindhouse, you know, the Tarantino one.
Well, I don't know. Okay, I don't know like how that's defined and like what movies are considered Grindhouse films, because
anything I would say 70s into 80s. I mean, really 70s and 60s are grindhouse. But in terms of like the stuff that like Vinegar Syndrome would release, so really, you know, let's go. Okay, I'll open it. Direct-to-video horror that is not necessarily a franchise, but just something really fucking strange that you dig.
I can grab it right now if I don't accidentally unplug anything. Hold on.
Okay, I'll do a dance for everyone. Longest take, yeah. So if you've been following Full Moon, you'll know that they're doing these noir things, and they're on a different path. But I still want to make it. I still really want to make it. I love Puppet Master.
Alrighty. All right, go ahead. So hopefully this qualifies, but this is from Vinegar Syndrome. Rush Week.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a great one.
Yeah, I just think it's such a beautiful release that they did. There's like a different poster on the inside, and I just love this artwork. And the movie actually is this stylish as well, which is crazy because it looks so unbelievably cheap, but there's all this like really fun, very like shadowy. It almost feels like it has a little bit of a noir vibe, but it's that very classic kind of like slasher lighting. It feels kind of Friday the 13th. I've talked about this movie a fair amount because I feel like it's one of the most underrated movies I've ever seen, like in my entire life.
Wow.
It's honestly, it's a college campus setting 80s whodunit slasher, and nobody knows about it. I think that's crazy.
So, what's interesting about that movie? Allow me to be a chauvinist for a moment, only a moment. It's a slasher movie where the kills are all off camera, but there's every girl is naked in the movie. It's almost like the director did the reverse. It's like we didn't see any of the gore, but it's like, oh, she'll take a shower and then she'll get killed, but off camera. It's like, oh no, I don't want to show any murders, but it's somehow it works. It's still a really satisfying movie.
I was gonna say, depending on your taste, like it is one of the sleazier slashers I've ever seen. Because it's a little bit like, I don't know if it's something I would have grabbed for if this wasn't sent to me. Like, I don't know, just based because it's pretty sleazy, but like the story is good, the lead is good, it's fun. I didn't guess the reveal, but yeah, it's sleazy, it's a vibe. So yeah, that's mine. What's yours?
That's a good question. You know what? It changes all the time because I like to watch a lot of movies. And I like to watch a lot of different things, different times, different countries. That you gotta, when you're a filmmaker, that's the best advice I can give anybody. Watch everything. Look, don't limit yourself, because you'll never know what's gonna strike an idea in your head. Like, ooh, that'd be cool if he did this, or maybe what if the guy did that.
He said to me multiple times, when you've sent me bad movies or something to watch, he says you can learn something from every movie.
And I stole that from Martin Scorsese, but yeah, so it's absolutely true. So my new obsession is Russ Meyer movies. Russ Meyer is a guy from he was really prolific in the 60s, 70s, up until the 80s, but he didn't really make as many then. And his whole thing was he loved big-breasted women, and so he would find these women at strip clubs, and then he would make the craziest, insanest movies ever. And they're like unlike any other filmmaker ever on the planet, to the point that beloved critic Roger Ebert was his screenwriter for a time. Screen,
Get out.
yeah, Roger Ebert was in the movie business at one point, writing for this guy, and his stuff is so insane. And I've been digging into his stuff recently, thanks to Severin, who's releasing them on 4K. So,
Mhm.
that's sort of my new grindhouse drug is
Is
big-breasted exploitation action movies.
Russ Meyer. The only movie of his that I've heard of is Beyond the Valley of the Dolls from
Mm.
1970. I haven't seen it though. I think that's got to be his most famous one because Roger Ebert was a writer on that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
That one, that was his first studio movie, so that's why. And Criterion put it out, so that's why it's got the most.
I see. Juice.
It's funny. Roman Empire. It's true because Roger Ebert always shed on movies, but like his scripts were terrible.
I mean, at least he got out there and tried to make it himself. Because we review movies, but we also make them. So we I think put our money where our mouths are.
And how do you feel about that? A side tangent. I've stepped away from critiquing only because luckily my career's kept me busy. But in the past few years, I would review movies. But how do you feel as a filmmaker being a critic? Do you think at some point, obviously you're going to stop, the YouTube, hopefully, you'll be too busy, but do you feel any guilt toward that?
No, because like I have talked about this with my audience a lot. I always end up on this tangent because I don't really understand I understand the point of view that's like, I know how hard it is to make movies, so I don't want to, put the negativity out there or whatever. But to me, I don't have a problem seeing negative reviews. Like now I don't look at it because it's just, I don't know, it's gotten more views and stuff. But like when Liked first released, I was really enjoying like seeing people's interpretations and stuff. Like people would come up with stuff that I didn't even think of, like what they got out of the short and whatever. And so I really love like the engagement, and because I don't like everything, I know that people are not gonna like everything I do, and not everyone is gonna like my stuff. So it's like, to me, it's very impersonal. I never personalize it, so I don't understand why other people do. So like, if I don't like something, who cares? Who am I? Like, what? I just don't, and I don't feel like I'm being unempathetic or something. I just, like, maybe I intellectualize it too much and like separate myself too much. But I mean, you of all people, of course, like when you make a movie, you work with sometimes like 30 other people, and the end result is never like exactly what you saw in your head. It's like this amalgamation of all these people collaborating. So I don't like hold my short films like they're my babies or something and feel really this like deep sort of like protection of them or anything. It's like, it's not mine anymore. It's the world's to talk about and do whatever. So that's how I feel like when I'm talking about other movies. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, similar. I mean, I think another advice I would give to any filmmaker out there: don't read reviews, because the good ones will hype you up too much, and you start getting a spoiled head, and the bad ones will kill you, and you'll never forget every word. So just stay away from it. The movie is out in the world. It should be interpreted by the audience the best. If people like it, people like it. They don't, it's all right. I've gotten on my channel, someone will say, "Oh man, but your movies suck. You shouldn't talk about other movies." I'm like, hey, I get it. You don't have to like my movie, but that doesn't mean I don't have opinions about other movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I work at Starbucks, so now I can't go to another coffee shop and say, oh, we do it better. Or, oh, this is a bad cup of coffee just because I'm in coffee. So I think opinions are important. I think filmmakers should have strong opinions because that shows that you care about the art form and you care about what you're doing. My reviews are always skewed to, and when you're so deep into it, you don't watch it as a movie anymore. You're watching it as a script. You're watching it as a, oh, why did you make that choice? What a weird choice. I like how she picked that up. That felt like she really thought about picking that up. So you're seeing all these weird, stupid things that an audience wouldn't notice. So I think that's why I'm more picky when I watch a movie. because I want it to be as good as it can be, and I'm always rooting for the movie. And if the movie lets me down at some point, then you're let down. And that's sort of like with Mickey 17. I felt it let me down. I felt like this was that we went on a weird journey here. This wasn't the journey that I think you should have gone on. I have notes, Bong Joon-ho, but it's too late now. But yeah, I mean, I will still give my unabashed opinion on a movie. If it's a movie a friend of mine has made, then I will pull my punches, because I think that's just a nice thing to do.
I do a little bit, but also like I can't. That's why I'm very blunt about it. Like when I went to go see Heretics, my review was, my friends are in it and I'm proud of them. So like just full stop. Like it's so much more enjoyable for me to watch when I'm like, oh, Shelby, oh, Scott.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, and also like to your point about not reading the reviews, like it exactly that. If somebody is sensitive and personalizes it to that point, then they're probably not watching or reading the reviews anyways. So if I don't like it, I think that's okay. Like I think it's okay for me to vocalize. Franny is in the middle of production actually right now for a Scream web series. I think in total it's going to be like an hour and a half of content, which is cool. I've seen some of the BTS. And he says, personally, I'm honest with films about what I like and don't. On the same note, I appreciate honesty about my projects. It gives me an opportunity to reflect and grow. It's part of the business. That's true. But I guess I guess though that when you get to a studio level, since you're like constantly getting so many notes, I saw some of them while we were working on Killer Doll, like just the messages you receive, you're like constantly getting criticism as you make it. Is that kind of why you like to avoid the criticism after the fact? Because it's like, I've been dealing with that.
Yeah, and it's I feel it's I just don't think it does any good. Personally for me, when I started making movies, yeah, I would look at IMDb and the reviews like, this movie fucking sucks, this guy should die, and I'm like, fuck, man,
Oh,
did I need
that's
to
not
read that?
constructive.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I wish they had made this choice with this actor, or like, oh, it's never like that. It's like, oh, worst fucking thing I've ever seen. Well, fuck this. And they don't know. We had 6 days to make this. I had an hour to shoot this scene. We had one camera down. I only had one camera. I had an actor who got sick. They don't know any of that stuff. And they shouldn't. I'm not gonna sit through a 2-hour what happened on set before I watch a movie. It doesn't matter. The movie should be the movie, and I let the audience interpret it as they were. But I also don't want that to affect me going forward, because I feel like it has in the past. I'm like, you know what? That's not the conversation I want to be in. So, if I ever made it to if I'm ever making a Warner Brothers movie, I would get off of Twitter so fast. I was like, I have not, would never.
No, believe me, I'm already off of that. I've been reading more since getting off of Twitter. It's great. I love that this kind of turned into a little interview between us. This is fun. Maybe they're right.
Yeah.
We should get filmmakers together more and talk about this stuff. I might be going on Jose's channel the 24th, I think. Yeah, but I still don't.
You got to do it, man. Come on. We'll go to a late screening of Until Dawn or whatever it is. I'll buy you some coffee. Oh, you don't drink coffee.
He's saying that because he knows I'm a grandma. I've turned down invites for like it's gone to see movies and stuff, and because I'm a grandma. I can't be up late. I can't have caffeine late. Then I won't be able to sleep for the entire night, and I won't sleep well. And I have to have my routines, man. I gotta have my routines. But also, because on the 24th, that's gonna be preview night for Until Dawn, and tickets are not on sale yet. I don't know the screening times at my theater yet, so that is still tentative. But go subscribe. It's his channel's linked right at the top. So go join his little cult. But yeah, that's it for me today. And thank you so much for coming on last minute, for offering to do this.
Yeah, let's do it again. This was fun.
Let's do it again sometime. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining. You can catch him tomorrow talking about the new Vinegar Syndrome releases for April, and I will be getting back in the saddle for Alien Isolation. And I just don't know if it's going to go very well, but I'll be going live at the same time. So I hope to see you then. Bye.